very good morning to you all. My name is Daddy Chris, and this is a very, very beautiful Tuesday morning from SRTV, from the ARTV desk in London. Ah, the world has been mourning. We have been mourning the passing of Pope Francis. I mean, it was a revolution for me as a Catholic to see a Pope that is so liberal, as down to earth. Yeah, man, this guy is an example of a human being. And perhaps we pray that he's automatically made a saint, because my definition of sainthood is those who understand the true meaning of humanity and they can use their head, not what they were told. We call them the Christians of Berea. They think, they ask questions. The man, if given the chance, like he said everything I wanted to do. When he talks about the gay right, he said he should accept them into the church. Why not? Whoever they choose to love, if that's how they choose to live their life, pushing them away will actually exclude them. Bring them in, hopefully they will see the reason to do what you do. But if they find what they do more comfortable, more convenient, and that is their way of life, so be it. It's not the worst sin in the world. But God did punish them. I don't know. That's what the Bible said. But hey, the world is growing, and Pope Francis was very, very liberal. I look at him, anytime I see him, I say, this Pope, he could do something crazy. He could do something like I was expecting more radical changes. And if he had stayed longer, he would have done more, would have created more changes. Anyway, this morning, I want to join the rest of the world and the Catholic around the world to mourn Pope Francis. And in the 2 seconds of high-tech seconds of silence, in honor, may he so rest in peace. Rest on, Pope. Rest on, Pope. We miss you. We miss you. We miss Pope Francis. And perhaps this is some of those things. I've been listening to the tributes. I, I wish we all can think, or we can realize that a day will come when we will all go and people will say things about us. What would they say about you? Is it because of the money you got or the life you have touched? They're not talking how much Pope Francis have today. We're only interested in how many lives or the way he lived his life, his attitude towards things. And those are very important things that for any society to consider. And perhaps the kind of education the world should be emphasizing is not only the moral aspect of our life is gone. Churches alone can't do this. I think government should do more to encourage people to live a more beautiful life. I call it a beautiful life, a life that what people will remember you for something great. Anyway, a big tribute to Pope this morning, but this morning I want us to follow the topic of yesterday. We're going back to that topic because it's quite a very difficult one, and we didn't really have enough time to touch on it properly. We try to talk about the difference between nature and nurturing it. Yes, and that's a very good one. It's a big topic to talk about. And in my approach this morning, I tried to do one or two things, and I said, let's say, is it a resource cost versus resource blessing? The oil now. Are we blessed with oil or is it cost? When Nigeria discovered oil, there was a time we didn't know what to do with money, and our elders, our fathers, were misusing the money, but not the way these guys are doing it now. Those people didn't go about buying things or building houses. I remember the day of your whiskey, when they would give him some amount of money, he said, listen, in his entire life, he has not seen that kind of money. What is he going to do with it? Those were people that have integrity. Where do we get this loss? Why are you people so greedy? Why are Nigerian politicians so greedy? That the Senate president was alleged now, I don't know whether it's true, allegedly said to be giving 500 million for one night. Hey, people are hungry, Senate president. If they give 500 million for one night, no. Anyway, there's a new life we find ourselves. And like I was trying to analyze yesterday, This is a country that is blessed with natural and human resources. And I really want to take a look at Nigeria again before my go journey. When they join now, I'll not be able to spend more time on this. But like I was trying to do yesterday, this is a country that is, I was focusing more on the human resources. If I tell you, if I spend a day to talk about what we have in our natural resources, the natural one, of course, part of the natural resources is the human resources. But let's take it differently, that the natural resources are what God has deposited on the soil for us. We don't need to work. Oh. Nigerians are not working to get the money we are getting from oil. Other people are coming to serve us. They will drill the land, they will take the oil and pay us. We are only being paid because God gave it to us. It's in our land. Let me ask this. How much of the things we have in our natural resources have been discovered by us and not put to use by us? No. Do you know the mineral deposit in the land? The gold deposit. I'm trying to make I'm seeing what this year I can focus on mining in Nigeria. Because all we can think of is oil. But Nigeria is blessed with abundant natural resources. Natural. If you dig our soil, in those days, God, I would say there's no part of the country that is not blessed. Now, those of us in the south side, we have the oil. But it's not only oil. If you come to my place, oh my God, our land is fertile for agriculture. You know, agriculture is our land. Fishing, we're just by the sea or by the rivers. Come to our areas. Do you know we can fish and fish? In fact, if they convert only River Ethiopia, where I grew up, to a fishing area, and we just throw fish there, and you're just gonna take them out. All we need to do is not to work really. Maybe just create a little bit of a bar in the river, which we can remove and move, and then pour in fish, feed them for some time, bring them out, make a lot of money. Fishing alone from Delta State. So when they say Delta is, or this other area is rivers, yet what River State, Akwa Ibom State, this is an insult to say what they have is oil. What they have is they have a fertile land. They can be good in fishing and other agriculture. If you put cassava in my land, you don't need to touch it. Yam in our land, you don't do anything. There's no fertilizer. My parents they never farm with fertilizer. They don't know what is called fertilizers. They were able to feed us. Imagine now if those children have gone to school and we now apply those technology, which is the applied knowledge, into this land. Imagine the kind of food will be growing in Delta State. Imagine the potential of the fishing that we have there. What does it cost us really? It's just to buy some ships, buy some boats, maybe invest in 5,000 boats. Or it's too much. Just take only 600 boats. And you see, I grew up in my place in Ogara. Those of people watching me now, there's what we call shrimps. You know how expensive shrimp is? In those days, that was when they were onward to go into the sea to bring in shrimps. It's very close to us there. Imagine if Nigeria begin to package our shrimps and sell to the rest of the world. Probably we don't even remember we have oil. Shrimps. So what is it? Is it granite we cannot grow? So that's in terms of our natural resources. It is an insult to grow up in Nigeria and say Nigeria, or those of us in the south side, we are known for. What are we known for? Oil. Oil that we don't even know whether we have oil. We don't even care. We have other beautiful things in the land that can make us billions. I mean billions. But unfortunately, the kind of government we have, and I don't want to fight our governors today because they're just doing what they know. And you can't beat the man because it's not the emphasis. It's not more in our DNA to look elsewhere because oil money is coming every month. That's why we say this oil is now a cost. It's a resource cost, not a blessing anymore. If there were to be no oil, our parents were farming. And imagine if Oboriwo would just invest in 50,000 or maybe 200,000 tractors. You see, I'm not giving you to you people. I am the governor of the state and I'm going to farm with you. Show me your land. I don't want you to do anything. For just being a dilettante, You have the land in your community. You, the kings, will come to me. I won't give you money. Oh. Those of you kings that go to Asaba to collect money, I will not give you. You know what I do? So show me your land. We will go there. I will send tractors. We will clear the whole land. Whatever the agri people advise that will grow in your community, I'll put it there. 6 months or 1 year, you will see us booming. And the king will no more have reason to come to Asaba to come and beg you money. Let me repeat this. If Oborivori will say today, I have 2,000 tractors. Tractors, how many people are going to use it? Maybe only 2,000 people will do it. You don't even need 2,000 people to use it. You don't need 2,000 tractors to work in the Delta State. But let's assume that would be Nigeria as a whole. But let's assume we do that. And you only take the land. It's an agreement between the state and the landowner, which the king will not be part of it. They don't need to come to you, Oborivori. All your money should be saved for children, for future, for investment, for maybe for something else, for maybe for education, yes, so that we can train people who can use this land. Because what our money should be used for really is to actually acquire technology, knowledge that we use to cultivate the land which God has given to us. Because in that land, we are so blessed. I started with only one example now, which is just only a tractor from the governor and few people who can use the tractor, and the children some of them have actually studied that Greek. But let's assume that is not enough. You cannot invite Holland and say, okay, how do you people doing your own? If it's only tomato farm, come and tell us how to do some of our own. Our land, I'm sure any land that is not good enough, if you don't even need to do it, if you don't want to make it open, we can build glass houses. If that is what we use our oil money in the first 1 year to build glass houses for farms, that every state, every community, not every local government, every community that have a king, you're not coming to me to joke, because you're coming to me to work with me. You will give me your land, you will show me, and I'm going to build that glass house. If it's tomatoes you can produce, then you start to produce tomatoes for us. Anything you can do, you grow it in that place. I will be the one to invest to. You don't need to do anything. I will send people to plant it. We will do the whole job. I have youth corpers. I have Nigerians youth who are doing nothing. I will employ them. But instead of giving these kids 200,000 naira insult monthly, if you get them involved in this, they will be making millions on their own. So they don't even need you to give them that kind of PA and SA job you're giving to them in Asaba right now. I'm just talking. So if we do that, meaning every community is now become, you have all this land, you have all these kids. Are you telling me there's nobody to work in Ogara, nobody to work in Ororokwe, nobody to work in Agbon? I'm sure kids are ready to work. So if you do that and you involve the community now, working with me as the governor, and we're going to make in Delta, every state in the country will start to imitate me. That is only for farming. Let's now look at those areas that have water. By that at Sabah, there is River Niger. The River Niger that Mogopa discovered is right by you, sir. Are you telling me there's no fish in River Niger? If there's no fish, they will put fish there. Now, don't even go there. I say, come to my village, Oboriwori. In those days, we have the shrimps, natural shrimps. I don't know how to say it, sir. In the natural shrimps, if Oboriwori, sir, if you buy us only, don't buy too many. Buy, say, 200 boats. We don't want to go to the escargots area because those ones, they don't even need to, they can even pick the fish from there. And you allow this boat, you now engage this boat, work with the communities to go use this boat to begin to bring shrimps. What is export of shrimps to Europe? Europe they eat what it doesn't care. It's not skin color. Shrimps is shrimps. You bring it here, you know how much we make from shrimps alone. What I'm saying now, it won't cost us even 1 month allocation. The two things I've described today, it will take us a month of allocation to achieve that. That is, you now see how much. So, but you will not even need to wait for oil. After 1 year in office, the money Delta State maybe be making from shrimp export, maybe from cassava alone. Do you know what cassava can be used for? Cassava is used in pharmaceutical company. China will be your best friend. They will even come and help you to do the farm. Homeland will be your best friend. Homeland will help you to cultivate your tomatoes farm. Now, what is it? And you know what? If this young boy in Burkina Faso can do all this, what is wrong with us? I'm not talking of the natural resources, the ones I can remember. Do you know in those days, Robert, we're not talking of the short term, Why we now take this oil money and we put it on long-term projects? We begin to plant rubbers that we know it's not going to grow today, palms that's not going to grow today, and we're giving our kids, say, when I leave office, by the time I start my second tenure, we'll be reaping the fruit of our palm. Look at what Malaysia has become today. Chief of Bollywood, look at what Malaysia has become today. You can do better than them. We can do better. You know, why don't we just make a U-turn and say, let us do something different? Why can't we have a vision for ourselves? Because we cannot be blessed with natural resources and above all human resources, because what we really have, more than what I described in the land now, is the human beings to do the job. We are so blessed. America is telling you that the percentage of Nigerians in America have higher degree than the people in the US. We have the highest proportion of PhD holders in the United States. What is wrong with us? These are all talent. Now, we have so many doctors, that's why they can even run out of the country. We've trained some. If the doctors are not good enough, how come they're going outside to work? Meaning their training is good. Meaning we could not put them to good use. People are dying for preventable diseases. I don't understand this. I really don't understand it. And I'm here thinking that, how do we solve this problem? How do we convert our human and natural resources to become a blessing? And it's going to start from communities. We don't need Tinubu. Tinubu is becoming a waste at the moment. He doesn't know what he's doing. Because I think Tinubu is so busy with so much oil money that he doesn't even know what he's supposed to do. Maybe he's too old. Because Tinubu, I don't understand you. Now let me keep Boriwori busy, not you. Because you're busy going abroad. You are too sick anyway. You're treating yourself. So your age alone is a problem. You are a liability to Nigeria. And that to talk one wing, no, that's all Robotoka. Today they turn around here. You don't need an old man for president because he's going to be busy treating himself most of the time. If you put me as president, you end up treating me. Sometimes when I breathe too fast, or maybe I don't go jump on top of one small girl. Baba right there, if just see young girl holy waste, not be hospital go back to London tomorrow. All these children, make a holy waste. If I say Mary there, here, go bring Mary in. Mary go answer that question. Hello, Mary.
Good morning, Daddy Chris.
Morning, man. Where are you people? Now just leave me alone that I should do it alone. Okay, no problem. But you know, I was just talking about something very important. You see, our problem, Nigeria don't have a problem. Let me put it this way. We don't have a problem at all. In fact, God is angry. My message to Nigeria today is God is so angry that he has given you people so much. How come that you cannot put what God has given to you into good use? And tomorrow on Sunday, I know yesterday, the church were busy. People were crying in the church on Sunday. God give me this. God give me this. God give me this. God has given it to you. Mary, what are you looking for that God has not given to you? Tell me what you're looking for in Nigeria that God has not given to us. Now we have a Sabbath.
Maybe we are not putting it into good use then.
Are we not putting it to good use? Or maybe we are only looking. I don't know who is actually educating us. Maybe this is my concern. Asaba, now we are complete.
Good morning, London. Good
morning, sir.
Good to see Mary again. Good morning, yes. Abuja.
You know, when the American is only Marshall can tell us what it is. Hurricane Mary is around today. You know, when you have the hurricanes.
Oh my God!
Hurricane Mary seems to be more. Hurricane Mary is quite peaceful compared to Hurricane Evelyn and Hurricane Marvelous.
Really?
I mean, Hurricane Mary is more peaceful. I mean, it doesn't come with thunderstorms.
Mary, because Mary is far from you. Yeah, that's why you don't see the thunder.
We have thunderstorms, we have hailstorms. I mean, the hurricanes we have here are quite. But we like it. It makes the weather quite.
You see, You know what
Mary,
I
good morning.
understand there?
Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Engineer Misha. Good morning, Mr. Obaka.
I like your dress.
Uh,
Thank
you
you,
know,
sir.
you know, when you see a woman from outside, when you go on the street now, you see how women greet you. Good morning, morning, hi. They are so nice. Go and ask what they've done at home. Ask the
I mean, I don't
husband.
know
They never tell
Daddy,
you who he is
why
really.
you showcasing me in a bad way? I don't understand. Did I look for your trouble? Or did I do anything bad? They are saying what they know.
You? I didn't know.
So
I
why
didn't.
you
I,
spoiling
didn't, I said. I said they said you are
He said,
a mild hurricane. I said only the person at home
is
know
that
you. Eh? Eh? No, Engineer
me?
Mashak said maybe it's a mild hurricane. It's a more peaceful
no, no,
hurricane.
no. I seek objection to that. That's just like back calculated the marketing from London.
Okay, okay, okay. I will drop my case. But what I'm really saying is that the topic of today. We'll go back to the topic of today. Something we tried to
Accepted.
analyze yesterday, and I've been trying to put one or two together. My question is, and I want us to just think simple. Why are we poor? Why are we poor? Or how could we be poor? Now, every child in Nigeria can sing it. God gave us natural resources. God gave us natural resources. God gave us natural resources. Yesterday, I was outlining the human resources in Nigeria, which we did here yesterday, and we're counting and counting the talents, in the Nigerian state. In fact, the few ones that have been exploited, it maybe we're going to look at the music industry now. The talent is enormous. We never knew we had them. Look at the movie industry, something that came yesterday. We've overtaken the rest of the world in movies.
Yeah.
Yesterday we came out. We never started movies. We didn't know. Movie was alien to us. It was VHS. People were just dubbing music. There's also this Idumota people who were just dubbing Nigerian football to sell. That's how they know that, okay, if we have our own, we can sell. And then they made living in bondage. And look at us today. We are the third of, not the first industry in the world. Soon we'll be the first. If you watch most things in YouTube now, you say I'm watching Nigerian movies, even Americans. That is how much only movies. Now, so let's come home. Let's come home. And I analyze something before you guys join the show. Say, for instance, our governor Boriwori, I want to stick to Delta State because you guys are in Delta. We bring only 20,000, maybe 2,000 tractors. It's even too much. And said, every community, if you are a king, you don't come to me to collect money. I'm not going to give to you. But show me a place in your land. I will be the one to send the tractors there to clear the land, and I will plant whatever that can grow there. You monitor it and we sell. So your job, you don't need to work, sell. Governor don't need to do anything. The people to do the job is there. It's just the initiative. The money to do the job is there. And in 6 months, if we plant cassava, will be all right. If we plant something else, if you come to my place, anything you put there, give me 6 months. Cassava today, in fact, it's what they use in pharmaceutical company. It's what gives us Gary. There's nothing in cassava that you throw away.
But I agree, you know that this country is not like before. If you're talking about cassava, about the crops, it was not like Nigeria didn't have food. It's not like we don't have means to earn our living, but it's because of the change in the country. You see why they were even telling the president to actually come to Plateau State because of the killings and everything. That same Plateau has a lot of food. You see Irish potato, you see tomatoes, you see onion, you get them cheaper in that same state. But now people can't even go there.
Yes,
The
very.
fear of other things.
I hear
So
you. But
the
do
thing
you
is, the
think it's
country
only
should
what you
first of
say?
all, the country should first of all work on the safety of Nigeria. Let's work on the safety of Nigeria, then we'll see how, if we can go back to what we used to have.
Mary, what is the cause of the unsafety? Why are you not safe? Why are you not safe? Do you ask that? Because you cannot have safety. You can't force people to be safe. If people are hungry, they're gonna attack one another.
I think even if the presidency is blaming the governors for insecurity, so I think even the governor maybe at some point they're even confused. Maybe even if
No,
they collect
I
money
don't think
for
we have insecurity problem either. We're secure. We just
how
need
can we
to
be
get down
secured?
and work, Mary. We're not
How can
insecure.
we how are we secured?
We're
How?
secure. Now, how can you be insecure when you say the next person with you is the one attacking you? You don't need to talk to the person. How can you be insecure? The people coming the people coming from the north to the south are people with cattle, with cow, or those who are looking for something to feed their cow. They don't hate you. They're looking for food for their cow. How can a reasonable government not know that feeding that cow is in the best interest of the country?
So when the
And
cow,
getting those governors to start the
when the
work.
cow end up eating their crops, they should fold their hands and be looking at it. And when they
No,
return,
that is it. We are looking at the matter from the surface now. I'm looking at it from the deep. If the governors in Kanu, in Katsina, Baba don't run from Katsina now come Kaduna. If the state have people have enough ranches, I'm not sure those people in the north want to carry their cow to the south. If they have enough ranches there, if that will become another boom for the country. Meat, which we can export. How can that thing be a problem to us? How can that be going to cause us insecurity? You think the typical Hausa man don't know what to do, or the Fulani man don't know what to do, he just want to come and take your land? He's looking for something which he could have gotten if his governor is working. He doesn't need to come to your place, Mary. Now I come out, let's go to your state, Mary. In your state, they have charcoal. Enugu State, we call it, till today they call it the coal city. Coal, charcoal, my people. The black things you see, look at my phone.
Just a name.
This black one now, it's made from charcoal. This mobile phone. You know how many mobile phones are produced in the world today? It's made from charcoal. The back of a television, look at every black thing around you. They're made from charcoal, baby. So there's no business, no business for charcoal. So the charcoal has disappeared from Enugu. You see, but the governor, you know what the problem? He's waiting for oil money. In fact, is it a curse or a blessing? That is the thing. And oil money is too small. It's not even money. They insult me when they say Nigeria have money with oil. How much is it? Delta State will make more money from only cassava than oil. Now, I come to my place. I'm sure Engineer Meshach will know where I come from. Okay. In those days, we have something called the National Shipping Line. We have the National Shrimps. But you know what shrimps? In Europe, it's the most expensive food if you want to eat shrimps. Those seafood. In those days, if Oboribori just invests in only 500 boats, I'm sure only 1 month allocation will give us 500 boats. Even if we don't buy, it will pay small. That's what we do. And those things go into the sea. Do you know, we'll begin to sell fish and export shrimps. And the income is automatic. You don't need to wait. I can sell shrimps here. If I bring shrimps, I don't become rich man. Let those of us in Europe begin to look for market for it. People will eat shrimps. In fact, it's landing here like joke. So how can our state be poor? How can Delta State be poor? Oh, government has taken oil money. Agree. Forget about oil. What about the shrimps? What about the cassava you can do? What about the yam? Do you know tomatoes farm? Only tomatoes. Only tomatoes. If you just create a glass house, if I tell all the states, all the kings coming to Asaba to collect money, I say, but no money for you. This 6 months allocation, I'm going to invest it in glass houses. The glass house, every community will have a glass. I'm talking of acres of glass houses. And we invest in those glass houses. Youth corpus, everybody want to work, go and work, because the job will be decent. It's not like the typical farm where they carry cutlass. Kids will go there to do a decent job. People that will do packaging. The women that are going to the market, stop some of them. If you go to, if I'm Nigerian, you won't go to farm with your hoe. I will arrest you. You come and work in this decent farm and you earn minimum of 800,000 naira. Because the proceeds of the farm will give us that money. Today we can't even pay teachers. The only thing that we do is pay. The only thing the governors of Nigeria are doing is pay teachers, pay civil servants, and construct roads. Quote me if they do something else. Now, look at where we are. Now, everywhere is war. We're going to blame insecurity. I saw the newspaper today, and I'm so sad. Who are the people killing who? And if you look at the people killing who, ask yourself, who are these people? Maybe you think I don't have a job, that my job is to come and kill you. Something is pushing me to your area. Ask me what is pushing me to you. So, oh, no. The only thing going to say is Muslim and Christian. No, it got nothing to do with that. The man running his cow, running animals in the farm, is not doing it because he wants to kill somebody. It's not because of religion. He wants to feed his cow. The governors of the north refuse to create ranches. Now we're looking for where to feed cow. They come to this area. Of course, they're barbaric as they are. They have a way of proving to themselves, you kill one cow, it's equal to their lives. Because the man probably thinks he's rearing his cow for the rest of his life. One die is equal to him dying. He's ready to go and kill. Poverty. Totally unnecessary. Let me use the word. There is no room for it in Nigeria. This violence will be avoided today if the governors, oh my God, if our governors can just look inwards. Like I beg governor of Delta State, forget about Nigeria. If Nigeria want to fail, it doesn't concern you. The little money you are getting, when it comes, leave road first, my brother.
You know, one thing is that road is what they feel like if I embark on this project, this is what people are seeing. Everybody wants to kind of go into what people see. That is the one that people will know that they are working. You understand? But they don't know that there are more to it. I'm not saying road is not good, but not when people are suffering. People need something that
Really,
actually.
what are people saying now is our property can be turned around with a key. You know, you don't need to start the engine. We don't need to start this car, and the car will run. We don't need the car to start, and the governor can start it, sir. And I want us to really strong message to our governors today. Forget about the president. Tinubu is sleeping. Don't forget it's an old man. Don't vote an old man next time. That's all I can say. So we don't spend time treating illnesses. Buhari was always going there to change blood. Now he's going to change his back. Thank God they've been able to change it. Baba, go and work. But he's not our problem. He can take a lot of oil money and begin to misbehave. Forget it. What about the small one given to you?
We are,
Go on, sir.
yeah, we have followed the discussion rather closely from Delta State, and I want to think is an eye-opening one. The issue of roads, people have this feeling that it has its own multiplier developmental effects, in the sense that it opens up communities. It can even, if you cite massive farmlands in places where the produce could just rot away. So the attachment to roads in our developmental circumstances in some ways can be understandable. The biggest challenge is that the entire place, the entire country is involved in growing insecurity.
Can I ask one question?
And is growing by the day.
Yes, okay. I think
yes, please.
My question is, the road has been constructed in Delta State today. Where are the factories that are using the roads? The ones we have already. When will you continue to create more roads that you don't even have factories to use it? Because they're claiming that, before the product will come to the main town, it is destroyed. Which farm do you have? Isn't it when you have those farms, you begin to think of the roads? At least, let them be the work first. Then the road will come. In fact, don't be surprised that those farms will begin to even construct their own roads. They begin to, you see, if I have a good farm here, if our community have a farm, before you know it, they will be working with their local government to get their roads. It will be cleared. They will clear it first. And then when governor come, the making of the road become easy. You are constructing road to hell. And people in hell don't want to come to heaven. So I understand the argument that we need roads. We want to expand community. Expand what? It's about, we are looking at only the shiny things in life. But what God has given to us in the land, which of the governors in Nigeria, I only use my state now, my own is even better. some of the other states, they are. In fact, maybe those of people that want to have their country, may they give the Yoruba people their own state, their own country. May they give all these people their own country. You will find out that if maybe Nigeria should just even break for only 6 months, then we'll come back. Then we will know what we're talking about.
But the worst mistake we can ever do in this country is to break. Because
I
if you
know.
break, you say break for 6 months and come back. You think you can break and come back. If you allow it to happen, then that's it.
I
There's
know.
nothing
I'm
like
not
coming
saying.
back.
I'm not saying it's a good thing,
So
maybe.
the best thing can work.
I'm just saying that we don't think. We don't think when we argue the breakage. What are you breaking to do? It's not like let's. I'm happy Baka was still saying. I just want to ask Baka, where are the factories in Delta State that the roads you are constructing are going to that so that the ripple effect will see it. Okay, I'm constructing this one so that it will affect this community because of what the community is producing. Show me.
You know,
It's a place where there is fish. Then the road is
that
worth it. Yes.
sometimes why these people construct these roads, I'm not talking
Well,
about
I
the
think
because I know that the poor masses travel
we
mostly by
we have had
this.
over and over to engage people in government, and they have the ready explanation to this. Communities need to be opened up. There are development spots,
Yes.
the seaports, the airports, that needs to be connected so that
That's
they can, of course, be maximally utilized. There is an airport in Asaba, and people who live as far as Enugu prefer to come in from other parts of the world and other parts of the country and get into Asaba via the airport. But what happens if they get to the airport in Asaba and the connecting road between the airport and possibly Onitsha or any other part of the is on its own a hell? Then, of course, the onus is on the government to ensure that these roads are. And I personally don't quarrel with governments who do road. What my concern is that some of the roads do not last beyond 2 rainy seasons. The standard of the roads are getting poorer, because growing up, we saw roads that were done by Sole Bonnet and some other Dumez and some other road construction companies of that time that are even in use today. But today we have political contractors, who may not necessarily be guided by engineering prescriptions and job orders. And at the end of the day, they do shoddy job for you, and so much fanfare in having their commission. So at the end of the day, you find roads that cannot survive 2-3 rainy seasons. That perhaps could be what the present governor of Delta State is trying to check by becoming the chief road inspector, who goes out to inspect to see whether the jobs are following the prescribed order.
Yes.
But that on its own may not.
Okay. Asaba will always go off and on. The
that
question I see,
those people around the Kuje area, they were complaining about bad road, which aids kidnapping. People were being kidnapped. It was causing accidents and everything. Not quite long, a very dark man also made video in that same road. He was standing there calling on the minister to come and do something about the road that is too bad, which is not safe for the people. Sometimes when roads are bad, we are still the one that cry today that they should fix our road, because we cannot be comfortable passing through a bad road. You know that anytime there are loopholes in a road, you see that they can easily kidnap in that kind of road, because where will you run to? So everybody wants a good road.
Mary,
Where people can,
the question again, my question again is, who are the people kidnapping you? The people are kidnapping you because they don't have a job. That's 90%. And now look at what Ubaka said. Ubaka is giving me when people land at the airport, which road will they follow? The question is where we concerned about flashy things first. First, let us solve our immediate problem. The thing that is even putting young people on the street to attack us. There's no job, maybe. There's no food in the land. And we're only relying on only oil. Let our focus be on producing. What I'm saying now, don't you think that if Delta State begin to make a lot of money from shrimps, from agri, they're going to construct roads? But how can you start with constructing roads without having all these things to sustain it? Road is good. Nobody said you should not construct road. But if you do what I'm saying, you'll be making so much money that the one you put on road, you wouldn't even bother. So these people in their sofa deck, they're sitting in their fat tummy, only waiting money and constructing roads and putting water. No, when they don't put road, they go buy transformer maybe. They buy transformer, they construct roads, they what do? They do pipe on water. 3 things they are known for. And then they build schools. The question I ask is, what is going to come out from here? How much are they going to make that will enable them to do more roads? They are now only waiting for oil money. So it's not as if whatever they're doing now is going to bring any money that will help them to even construct more roads. If oil money don't come next month, the project is dead. Maybe what kind of family does that? I know it's all right to construct road. Maybe if you use the money they gave you this month, you get a husband, he give you money, take, go and do this, madam, go and feed the house. You spend all the money to buy meat. The next month they give you buy meat, you cook and everybody eat at once. No savings.
The truth is that even in their manifestos, they were not using road, they were not projecting road as part of what they would do when they get there. Road is not the basic thing that they are saying they want to do. They talk about agriculture, they talk about creation of job employment, boosting maybe their state economy. These are the things they try to say to a kind of buy the minds of the people. But when they get there, you see them doing otherwise. The road is not what they know that talking about road does not.
Thank you, my daughter. Now they know. So it's like they know. But when you talk about the more agenda, it's not about road. The more agenda is not about road alone. You talk about empowerment. The question is, what do you even empower people? You know, maybe now the funniest thing is in my state now, every month the kings are paid. They go to Asaba to collect money. The money is still coming from the little money coming from Abuja.
What are they doing?
Yeah, no, maybe, but where is the money coming from? The money coming is from Abuja. The kings could make money, or you could get the king. If I'm the governor, I'll get the king to be making me money than coming to me. And the king will even have more self-fulfillment if they have a glass farm in their land and they're producing tomatoes, which you are taking abroad to sell, Mary. The kings will feel fulfilled. They don't need to. These people don't need to come and beg governor for anything. And now, everybody in Nigeria, Mary, everybody I know is only waiting. They believe there's a pot of money there that we are going to tap on. The Nigerians have so much money that we are going to go and drag. The reason we want to create more states so that we can drag money. The reason we want to have
then we'll say the oil money is not a blessing because it has really affected.
It's a cost. It's a cost. It blinds us so that we don't know where money is. You see, it's like someone that eats so much sugar. Even when you see your wife, you don't know your wife sweet. Sorry, my daughter.
Some country only live on just agriculture. That's what is sustaining them. But you know,
we will be successful.
We have all of this. We don't even have only one thing in Nigeria. That's what makes us unique. Some things that we have. Some country have only. Let me just say, there are some countries that is only agriculture that is sustaining them. But agriculture is not the only thing we have in this country. I think they won't come here to gain some of the mineral resources we have. They don't even have it there.
Mary, when we talk of agriculture, Mary, when we talk of agriculture, it's so broad. The only palm oil, this palm fruit, something we have in Benin 94. People from Malaysia, Mary, came and they took it home. Today they are the highest exporter and they're making a lot of money from that thing. And those people are hungry.
Something almost all the states in this country has palm oil. It's everywhere.
Okay, but people in Edo State they go to bed hungry. They don't have food. Malaysia is making so much money. Is Malaysia no more constructing road? They are now constructing road from the oil money they are making. How can you start with what you will spend? I don't understand. It's recklessness. This is the most reckless generation in Nigeria. Because if the money, let's say now, you come to office and nobody asks this question I'm asking you. If I put a debate with the governor, they will not sit down with me. Because if I ask them, my first question is, since you ascend office, sir, how much have you made for your state? Because in the UK, they are experts in collecting taxes. Maybe they go eat your yansh, they take the tax. Whether you die, no care, you must pay. So the government makes money from taxes, from this, so they can spend. Government should be very rich. The governor of Delta State is only waiting for money from Abuja. How much are we generating locally? But the state, only shrimps, my people, only cassava, only palm fruit. Oh, name it. Delta State will be making only fish. You know how much we'll be making? So do we really not wait for only oil? The oil is how much is it?
You know the kind
Now
of fish,
everybody in the
kind
money.
of fish that Rivers State has. Rivers State as a whole, the kind of fish they have. But
Fish, eh?
what do you always see them talk about? Is it not the oil?
That's
Everybody's
it.
just so focused on the oil money. So
Yes. Maybe it's not their fault. But do you know, you can imagine rivers. There must be plenty river around. What are they doing with the fish there?
there are many fish. There's no kind of fish you don't see in Rivers State.
Okay.
There is no type. Even the stockfish. If you
Have you
want
heard
the
Wike
big
said, have you heard Wike going to
Then-
the river to show us that he got this sort of fish? All of them are late. In fact, they are reckless. That is the language for them. Sorry, I have to use the word today. Because if you can show big fish, you know, you'll be exporting fish. In fact, you know what, eh? You look at the people making fish today. Poor farmers. They are like the same thing like our forefathers used to do. They used to carry cutlass to go and make fish. They say they are growing agri fish. Look at the catfish we eat today. Do you know how much the state will produce if the state choose to go into fishing? All these useless fish we are eating now. Imagine if Delta State say, oh, on a Koberu, let's fish. In my community, there's River Etu. Mary, if you reach there, very easy to block it. You can just create artificial this now. You understand? You say allow the water to go, but you put your fish there. Give it only 6 months. And come and pack fish. Then some can go into the fish. If you go into our sea, shrimps, oh God, what is wrong with us? How can a governor have all that resources and he's broke? Now, we don't want to talk about the north. I know they're going to tell me about the north. The north, how can you have cow? These people can rear cow. Enough cow, Mary. Meat. And you are broke. Look at the story of, in fact, they are richer than us. If you look at the Bible, when they were making sacrifice to God, one makes sacrifice with meat. Plenty meat. Do you know how much they will be making from meat? If they just can breed, how long does it take to breed a cow? All you need to do is have enough space and begin to feed them. Oh God, look at it. Just create ranches and feed them. And you come and collect and sell. Now, because they don't have that, they're going into people's farm to feed those cows. I don't blame those people. I'm blaming the governor. You refuse to tap on the potential you have. You're waiting for money to come from Abuja. What do they do with the money? Like what I said, construct roads. The northern governors, what do? Construct roads. Nigerian governors, construct roads. Yo, we need road, infrastructure is needed. Construct road. You can't even go. The most important one said, I have some images of schools, of primary schools in Nigeria. I should not show this on my show. I will not show it. Primary schools. When you look at the schools, you begin to wonder, is this the 21st century Nigeria? With all this oil money, is it not a sin? Will our children forgive us? If the children realize how much we've collected from oil.
No suitable place for learning. That's so bad.
What will children say about us, Mary?
What about hospitals where people come for treatment? You are here for treatment. You want to be comfortable. And the hospital is not.
I have to show only this one. There's one I saw, and it is the same country. Look at it. Now, Mary, why would these people? Why would these people look at it? Tell me one reason why a Nigerian should be like this. Give me an excuse why people in Nigeria will look like this.
Nigerians should be like this. It's because of our leaders.
Thank
And
you.
you are giving them, look, when you even say construct road, you give them so much credit, like they are truly constructing roads. The roads, if you know the modus operandi in most construction of roads, you would weep.
The kind of
Some of
money.
these contractors, there's a particular road here in Asaba that the drainage on the right was given to a different, it was awarded to one contractor, then he leased it to 3 different contractors. The drainage on the right to one contractor, the drainage on the left to another contractor, then the road divided in 4 contractors did that road. And you could see, I mean, it was like a road to hell. The drainage ascribe that they are even constructing roads. It's laughable. Like Ubaka made mention, 90% of the roads constructed in Nigeria do not last one rainy season, beyond a rainy season. And that goes to show you the test of time. There are some roads that were constructed before 1970 in Warri, like Upper Rejua, Lower Rejua, some of those old roads, they are still there till today. If not for the recent renovation of roads, that they have been resurfaced after over 40 years, close to over 50 years, and they are not one single pothole. Where you have Osi College, Warri, that road, Upper Rejua, when you go there, you see some of these old roads that were constructed by PW, Public Works Department, in those days. Now, when you give them this credit that they construct road, is so laughable. Because what they construct, yes, what they are constructing are not even roads. Now, when you give the job of an engineer, you give it to your friend that read mass communication or that read business administration, he will not go and list. Do you know they use outside layabouts, these people that do and look for work? They use them to construct road in the night in this Asaba.
And the kind of money they'll tell you they put into the road. The kind of money they'll tell you they put into the road.
Yes, the kind of money you budget for this. You see them in the night using, you will weep. You will even use it to construct your own compound. Say you want to do asphalting in your house. They use this house, they'll pour quota, they'll pour gravel, then they'll use roller and start rolling on top. Make it strong. So like in the morning. I weep for this country.
No,
nobody saying anything.
I make video and post.
Start
spoiling. This is the problem, honestly.
Yeah, no, we see these things now. Now, what is now? You made reference to the issue of internally generated revenue. That's what we're trying to explain. Now, that government could, as a point of necessity, become an entrepreneur. That is a very noble, that's an ideal situation. But we don't operate an ideal situation yet. Now, 90% of IGR goes into private pockets in Nigeria. 90% of internally generated revenue. In some states, you see task force on environment. You have Ministry of Environment, task force on environment, task force on one-way driving, task force on this. Are these task forces, are they not supposed to generate revenue for the government? But no, they are task forces that are so formulated to how do I call it? To garnish people's ego, to create jobs for their cronies who seems to have helped them during election, not because the government wants to get that. You see task force, you are driving one way or you beat the traffic light. It is expected in the UK, for example, and in Sena clients, you pay to the government. You pay your fine. You go and pay.
Yes.
But here, when they hold you, they clip your tires, and they tell you how much. They just give you 50,000. You will now start begging. Let me pay 20. Oh yeah, bring it. They put it in their pocket. Then you say the government will generate funds. How? The government have only empowered somebody who has empowered another person. Now look at sweeping of the road. Contract could be given for road sweeping, for example, to somebody at the cost of 80,000 per person. Now that person now goes and sublets it to other people for 20,000. And when you see the risk hazards, where will you carry small children to come and be sweeping roads with their mother or grandmothers People that collected the contracts are sleeping in hotels, relaxing with their girlfriends and cronies. Meanwhile, elderly people and young children that are supposed to be of school age and in school are helping their mothers to earn a living. Now, you talked about the issue of annexing natural resources. Yes, a lot of appreciate. There are some days, like in Warri, then I love to go to the Sansan market or the Pesu market because you are close to the river and you see fresh fish, you see seafood, very cheap. Now, because of the fact that there has been a fundamental shift in economic ideology, people have reneged in an ability that would have taken care of their financial disability. The ability is investing in these profitable businesses. Now, what do they do? When you were talking about the issue of road, the construct road, how many percent of the money goes to majority of those monies are shared. Everybody sits there and waits for allocation. Allocation will soon come. Now, our national cake, they will share the money. But that is where it's just like as a parent, you are making your child lazy if every month, as you give him his allowance, you don't encourage him to either invest the allowance or either if he has come of age to learn something that would empower him besides education. You could learn software, computer repairs, or software engineering, or ICT, or learn barbing, or just something that's of entrepreneurship. But we don't do that. Now everybody sits down and waits for the government, and the government's allocation is already shared before it comes. If you don't worry, by next month, the people, the local government. I am so ashamed when you see them prior to the rainy season, they come out to say, want to desilt drains, want to desilt drains. The drains are filled with rubbish that are desilting. People are enforced to desilt their drains back. Is that the responsibility of citizens since we pay tax? Now, even after desilting, people pay these talakawas, these houses to come and desilt. The local government does not know its responsibility. Now, 90% of those drains that have been desilted still have the silt in front of them. And since we are coming back into the rainy season, they're going back into the drains and flooding returns. A government that is not proactive, that is always being reactive, will be on a standstill. And that is the case we are. Look, investment opportunities everywhere. You made mention of it. Can I ask a silly question? You are in the UK. Let me reference you to Netherlands, for example.
Yes.
Netherlands and Argentina. They are two of the world's highest exporters of cattle, beef. Have you ever traveled in the Netherlands and you see a herdsman escorting cattle on the
No
roads
way.
of Amsterdam,
No way. No way.
or name it, or on the
No way.
roads on the roads of Buenos
Why?
Aires in Argentina?
Look at their business.
You
They
see
start
them,
other capital territory.
data that is
People
practical
there.
farming. They do ranching. What is
Imagine
it? Is it on the highways because the so-called illiterate nomads are escorting their cows that they are grazing? They go to people's farms. If we practice ranching, they don't have any business with our farms. They don't have business moving around. The business they have is to put these cows in an enclosure,
Exactly.
and they're better catered for in a ranch. That's what we
Exactly.
see every day. And these leaders of the northern extraction travel all over the world. Most of their children are schooling abroad. They see the way these things are done, but they are the benefactors to these nomads. Those should be the people righting the wrongs. But then, because of ethnic bigots that we have in the system, they have created a religious and ethnic dichotomy within the people, and of course, that divide is what is causing us so much harm. We're talking about exports. You and I know the early days of this of our nationhood, where regional strength is measured by your capacity, by your export capacity. Regional strength. Every region has its strength. Every region. It will shock you what I'm going to tell you. Do you know Coal City? That Enugu you say is the Coal City is not really the Coal City. There are large deposits of coal in Ogbompa, Ibabu, very in Ogbompa here. And I was privileged when the minister for mines and of the groundbreaking occasion of the company that came to start. When I heard what they said, that was the first place coal exploration in Nigeria. But because the people there refused, there was a fight between I think with Ibabu and Ogbompa, two very close community within it, close to each other, like Okpana and Asaba. That was pre-independence. Moved to Enugu. Enugu does not have a small deposit of coal. Then I went, we saw it. And historically, there were historical perspective to it. We saw written documentation of what that place could have been. So Delta State would have been one of the highest exporters of coal if I had annexed it earlier and not from there. But where are we today? I was in secondary school when we some of my colleagues that used to travel from train from the east down to up to the north. There was called locomotive. That most of these trains were being fueled by coal.
Coal. It was coal.
By coal. They were combustible locomotive engines.
Exactly.
I used to make then. The children, when my classmates were explaining it in class, those were most of our bakeries were being run by coal. But all that is gone right now because there's over dependence on money from the center, over reliance on money from the center. Look at what's happened to the Midwest. I wish those states should have been like Texas, especially the Midwest should have been like the city of Texas. If our resources were properly utilized, the government will be Delta State, former Bendel, and most of these South Rivers, Bayelsa, Akwa Ibom, should have had the capacity to even borrow Nigeria money if they know how to utilize their resources, maximize their potentials. Besides oil, there are more major earners.
Throw oil away, my brother. Thank you.
Region.
Throw oil away.
Exportable major earners, but instead we exported. We allowed. I didn't say we. I wouldn't say we exported the technology or the idea. People came and borrowed our idea and our technology for free, and today they have transformed and translated those ideologies and whatever to profitable business ventures. And here we are sulking.
Okay, so taking it off from there, the summary of engineers, I want to call it engineers' lamentation.
Yes.
Over and over again, he said he wept. The summary of it all is that we missed it when Nigeria discovered oil, and the agri and food development remained the path not taken because we could have developed from food and food production, we could have developed agro-allied industries, and we would have been able to export and would have been able to create industries that can on their own absorb the youths. And of course, there wouldn't have been a ready army for a ready recruit ground for crime and criminality. But again, there is this dimension of yes, there is a global phenomenon of climate change, and there is a way it has affected Nigeria in terms of desertification. The Sahara Desert is the nomads themselves and those who are rearing cow are becoming more desperate in seeing how can they feed their cows. Yes, that on its own has resulted in a clash between them and the Middle Belt natural head-on collision, as it were. But that could have been managed, but for the very desperate and diabolical, devious kind of politics that we are playing in this country. And this can be seen in the light of what happened to Jonathan and what is even happening up until now. We have a set of political elites who are desperate about power control, and the attraction to that power is the oil money, not the innovation you are bringing to leadership, but
They
what you
have
are
it.
going to take out from giving out license to one of the oil blocks. That's why
Uh-huh.
many say oil has become more of a curse than
It is a
the
cost.
blessing that it was expected to be.
It
So
is a
now,
cost.
for a government to come into the country from Jonathan era, we now see a situation where political elites will organize and on their own sponsor killings. And we are not talking of killing of foreigners. We are killing citizens. As we speak, it is happening in the Middle Belt. As we speak, it is happening in Benue. These are politically motivated, politically organized kind of killings, just to label the government in power as clueless, ineffective, and not able to take care of the primary responsibility of securing the citizens and their property. And that we build up on that, like it has started now. We build up on that, and at the end of the day, it is labeled that this government can pervasive insecurity. And with the political alignment, realignment, and gang up, the administration is booted out of office, or if you call it, voted out of power. The desperation of power control in Nigeria is not tied to how you can creatively impact on the living condition, make the economy better, improve on the infrastructure. Rather, it is on how you can harness the commonwealth, how you can harness the resources. And until we are able to address that, we will find a situation where what appears to be the tree of Nigeria is being watered endlessly by the blood of innocent citizens who do not know, they do not even know what is happening, but they are pawns in the power game of the elites. The elites are desperate about power control, and in their alignment and realignment, one of their devices have been to sponsor ethnic killings, sponsor insecurity, so that a government is labeled as ineffective and is labeled clueless, and Nigerians should be ready to vote it out of power. And the question is, will the government that will come in do better than this? Those who are watching the scenario now says what goes around must come round, because this was the same about the same tactics that Tinubu's block of I think ADN or so, then with CPC came together and sponsored the killing of Chibok girls and all that and all that. And Jonathan was seen as the most clueless president I ever had, and he was humiliated out of office. Today, the CPC bloc is pulling out, and they are using the same game of sponsoring terrorism, sponsoring ethnic violence. And in all this, the blood of the innocents is going. How does this affect our state of security? It makes us one of the most insecure nations. What does it do to investment? It drives away investors. It even makes some of our nationals, our citizens, go. I think one of the news headlines today is talking about Nigeria topping the chart among nations that are seeking asylum in UK. Between 2010 and 2024, the number of Nigerians seeking asylum. And what do you understand by asylum? You're seeking safety on humanitarian ground because your home is troubled. Then the question is, what is the trouble of Nigeria? The trouble of Nigeria is the desperation for power control And power control is not out of motivation to improve on the lives of the citizens, to invest, diversify the economy, improve on the infrastructure. No, those are tasking job. It's about the control of the resources. And these resources are crude resources. Crude resources
Crude.
of
Right?
what was put in there by nature. And you just try to see how you can put it together. Ones that they say oil theft, the ones that some people can steal, and the ones that you can sell, and the money gets into the coffer. So there's nothing we are adding to it.
Yes.
So if anybody is expecting about creativity in government, then we are trying to lay a fresh benchmark, because just as it is at the federal level, you see that the 36 states are waiting for about this time in the month where they go for 5.
Allocation.
That's allocation, and
But
they share it, and in terms of derivation percentage, and
yes.
you come back home. From rivers to delta, and you see the oil producing states, they tend to have more and all that. But nobody is asking, beyond oil, what are the other resources we have that we can also harness? What about the solid minerals? Engineer was, literally weeping here over coal deposit in Obompa, a few kilometers away from here, and what that could have done in transforming the economy of Delta State. What about the flora and the fauna? What about our potentials for, be food exporters? So that those are the creative dimensions that we expect we should put into governance. But incidentally, we have a president who can hold leader accountability. We can hold leadership to account, and you find out that when you dazzle to the table, dangle a few carrots before the people, they begin to sing and follow you. And at the end of the day, we are recycling mediocrity, we are recycling lack of accountability, and the other parts of the world are looking at us and saying, these people are so blessed, but why are we so poor? That is the question. We are so poor because we have not had the privilege of having the kind of leadership that should be able to show the light so that we can find our way. And as such, what is happening now is that we are all groping in the dark. How long this will be, it depends on Nigerian people to see how to be sorted out.
All right, let's go on a quick break. That's how we're going to go on a quick break. When we come back, we stay on this topic, but we'll take a look at the papers. I'm sure. So sometimes it's sad when we have this show and we don't have the time to look at the current happenings in Nigeria, because they're all related to this. The killings, everything we talked about, whatever is happening today in the country, this is the root of the problem. Anything you read in the papers, insecurity, you trace it to this. If the governor of all these northern states engage in proper ranching, and now we begin to export meat, cow to the rest of the world, in fact, these guys will be too rich. Instead, they are busy waiting for oil money. Like I said, my state alone, like Riley said, then the state of those days should be borrowing Nigerian money. From the wood we have, wood, Benin, Edo State have wood. In fact, I was selling wood to some people here in Africa called yellow apple. That's what they use for window frame. Expensive window frames. What we have in Nigeria, in fact, where are we coming from as a people? This education, I don't know how we need to sit us down. We need to sit ourselves down, lock ourselves in the room and say, we will not leave this place until we solve Nigerian problem today. What Goodluck tried to do, and they didn't allow it. And I have to give credit to Goodluck at this point. That constitutional conference was not really only about constitution. No, when Nigeria talk, it's only about constitutional conference. I want an economic conference on Nigeria, not constitutional. Economic conference, because the economy will translate into constitution. Oh God, let me tell you this. It's so stupid for somebody to think I'm going to solve the security problem of Nigeria if there's still no food, there will be no security until there is job in the land and people are gainfully engaged. Anarchy remains a self-fulfilling prophecy. We're going to go on a quick break. When we come back, we're going to stay on the topic and take a look at some of the Nigerian newspapers. I'm sure what we'll be talking about today we can never be left out. Because what is happening today is the result of this. What is happening is the result of no, I don't even see them as wicked people. They are blind. They are blind leaders. A leader like Tinubu who cannot boast of how much he has made for Nigeria is not a leader. If I say that for all the governors, I go best. But that's the truth. A country so blessed, Tinubu, you are so blessed with human and natural resources, you're not making money. How much are you making in a year? How much? For a country like Nigeria, do you know how much we'll be making if we begin to really work on what God has given to us? You sit down on your ass, you wait for oil, they come and draw it from your land, they go and give you the little ones you get. You don't even know how much is. They don't even know how much is leaving the land. Nigerians don't even know how much. Nigerian government is not aware of the quantity of oil that leaves the land. Let's go on a break.
Nigeria Week London 2025. It's time to celebrate the pulse of Africa's most exciting nation. Nigeria Week London 2025 is coming to Hippodrome Theatre from July 24th to 26, 2025, showcasing the best in Nigerian arts, music, fashion, and investment opportunities. Whether you're looking to discover the future of real estate, explore Nigeria's culinary masterpieces, or get immersed in an electric Afrobeat performance, this is the event of the year. You can also join us for a film festival, cultural dance spectacles, and the recognition awards. Don't miss out on the business opportunities and cultural experiences waiting for you. Book your tickets now before they're gone on eventbrite.co.uk. Call or text +447 438 893 190 or 080 330 46768 or +447 459 071 747. Visit our website superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week London 2025. Nigeria Week London 2025, celebrating the best of Nigeria, is partnered with Civil Society, scaling up nutrition in Nigeria.
Yeah, welcome back, people. Welcome back. This is Rise and Shine on the African Renaissance Television. We've been looking at these issues affecting Nigeria as a nation. And I know we all try to identify. I know they're going to say, oh, he's a Muslim, he's Christians. They preach a lot of rubbish. Oh, he's the outside man, he's the Yoruba man. It's this and that. Our problem is simple. Very, very simple. We can't feed ourselves. Not because we don't have the power, we don't have the resources, but because our leaders refuse to look outside that little box of little oil money. Today, there's anarchy in the land. But like I said, we need to take a look at some of the newspapers so that we can do that. And I will allow Mary. And we had a new face in Asaba. Sir Fred, you're welcome to the show, sir. Hello, Fred. A very good morning to you. Okay. I know Asaba takes time to hear us.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Yeah.
It's good to see you on there. Now, you guys are representing Delta. There's the blue for Delta and the white. Blue, white. See these people? You guys are planning it. But only will give you an award. Anyway, let us take a look at some of the newspapers this morning. Quick one,
okay, the big story on the Punch. We have able to meet service chiefs over rising killings. And the writer says, President returns from France. United Kingdom. Presidency blames governors for worsening insecurity. And we have a protest in Jos. The story is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Still on the Punch, we have Electricity failures inflate manufacturers' generator bill to 1 trillion naira, and that story is on page 25.
Many way to. I want to throw this question to Baka. Baka, what can you really tell sincerely is the cause of the killing in this jobs? Who do you really think is responsible? What are they fighting for? These are all people from the same place. They are not different tribes. So, oh, you're gonna say it's Fulani man. Okay, maybe it's Fulani coming to kill them. Who are they not the same outside people we know? What is the excuse?
Yes, I think that's what Tinubu has asked the service chiefs to get into now and find out what actually is happening. But the opinions are divided on it. Some do say that it is politically motivated, coming at the midterm of Tinubu's 4-year
Like,
mandate that he
that
has,
is Tinubu.
and
That is
a
Tinubu
section of the
message to
country
us. Hello, sir.
feels that
Yeah. Go on. Go on.
yes, a section of the country feels that his appointments are predominantly tilted towards the south and especially the southwest, and as such, that he needs to be one of the ways of labeling him as a failure, that his administration is not impactful, is by creating this atmosphere
By killing themselves.
The
By killing
painful
themselves.
aspect of it is that it's not a movie. It's not a movie. It's not a
Thank
make
you.
believe.
Thank you. It's real.
The price is high because it's the
The lives of
price of
people.
Nigerians, the blood of Nigerians that is being used in this situation to create that feeling that the president is not in charge. And come to think of it now that he has spent some 18 days in Europe, and in his absence, he didn't even have the courtesy of transmitting power to the vice president. And as a result of that, see what is happening. Well, we hear that the president returned to Nigeria yesterday at about 9:45 p.m. and has asked the vice president to be in Plateau. Yes, he's the commander-in-chief, but he has also seen the expediency of his vice getting in there. He has also given a directive, if you like, you call it marching order for the service chiefs to go in there and see that lives are protected so that the place is secured. It is painful when in the power play you are using the blood of citizens to make a point. It doesn't show. And these are people who come out tomorrow and claim to be nationalists. They claim to, but it keeps reminding us of what the likes of Jonathan. It's not a surprise that he keeps winning peace award because he came and made a statement that his political aspiration is not worth the blood of anybody. But here we are in this climb. We see people who, just for them to be politically relevant, they are ready to sacrifice the blood of gullible, innocent, often not adequately educated citizens. And they send a narrative to them that these people, your forefathers conquered this place and they're supposed to be yours. So you should not, your access to the place shouldn't be hindered. These are settlers. You are the original. And when these people are spoken to, especially in mosque and some other places of gathering, then you now see a situation, especially when the town, the community development initiatives now have additional responsibility of retired generals, retired military men, procuring arms and giving to young men. For as long as we do not take care of the small arms and the illegal arms that are in the hands of people who are not military authorities, then for so long we will continue to battle with this level of insecurity, which people fear it has a political backing.
Yeah, you see, that narrative is now, your narrative is from the government point of view.
Well, if
Because
I may add my
somebody
voice,
telling
I think the issue of
yeah,
insecurity in the country.
go on.
I just want to add my voice to what Professor Baka just said because I call him Prof.
Yes, it's prof. His chief
So
is prof.
the issue of
Not
insecurity.
prof.
See, the security architecture in the country needs to be upgraded. That is one. Because if the person who is fighting with is better equipped, there's no way you can match the fireworks. So we need to upgrade the security architecture. Then expose our operatives, our security agents or operatives to training, modern day training, so that the best practices or best standards in security management, they could get abreast of them. Because this issue of operating, because if you ask a policeman now or ask a soldier now if they would be able to talk, they would tell you that since they were employed, they have not gone on any training.
Okay.
So they need to be sent on training how to operate some of these equipment so that by the time they come back, acquire these cutting edge equipment so that they'll be able to confront these bandits head on. So that's my own view.
Mr. Pre-
If Mary looks at the top hand side of the punch of this morning, sir, the top hand side of the punch this morning, Mary, you will see a story there. UK records 22,000 Nigerian asylum seekers. UK records 22,000 Nigerian asylum seekers. And
Yeah.
I think the time span of this is between 2010 and 2024. 22,000 asylum seekers. This is for UK alone and not other countries. Well, maybe Sir Chris can shed a bit light on this because he is in UK. Under what conditions will a country grant asylum status to somebody seeking asylum, sir?
Well, legally, you have to be fleeing from war. If you say you have economic problem, it's not an excuse. So you will not be coming to the United Kingdom to seek. It's only when you're suffering from persecution. But we have a lot of excuses. I don't want to say most of them on this platform is to be too much. You see Nigerian women telling you that they're running away from circumcision. They are actually economic refugees. The problem is without I used it in one of my movies. I said it's on a kind of baptism. It washes away your sin. When you come here, you seek political refugee, but you are actually an economic refugee. We are only saying to United Nations to recognize economic refugees so people can be true to themselves. All right. Now, the truth is there is economic. You see, the way guns will kill you, hunger is killing. So you could be running from either gunshot or you're running from hunger shot. Any of them will kill you. But there's no provision in the law for it. So we look for a way, asylum seekers will look for a way to suit their story within the political dimension. But the truth is 90% of us are coming
That 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 precisely, sir, is where we are now.
Yes.
The economy is biting so hard that people in the bid to survive, they trump up all manner of excuses. We have seen people in this country who make newspapers to use their stories, even with their photograph, that their communities are out to kill them because they are gay. And they take these things used in the newspapers with their photograph and their identity, and they attach it to the application they have and
Yes.
take to American embassy.
Yes.
That their communities have ostracized them, want to kill them just because they are gay. gay, and that they are choosing
you know the funniest one?
to be gay.
But
And America
doctor,
will stamp. And
Prof,
lo and behold, nobody is killing gay anywhere in Nigeria.
Prof,
Because you have the
Prof.
right to be what you want to be.
Yes.
But these are people
Prof,
who
Prof,
are
there's one
thinking outside
funny
the
one.
box, who just want to get out of our
country.
okay. Oh yeah, get out of the country.
Prof,
Get out of the
let me
country.
give you- let me
Because
give you
like
one-
Sir Chris will say, war in the north, war in the middle belt, war in Plateau, war in Benue, war in Borno, war everywhere, economic war. How do you escape from it? You seek asylum.
Yes. And you know the funniest thing there, Prof, let me tell you one story. One of the angles now, the women, people like the very are using, they will just run here and say they want to circumcise them. You know, sir, if we don't tell you authority that you were about to be circumcised, you have asylum. But again, you cannot, I said it in my movie, you can't blame somebody who has some excuse.
No,
The man is running from
circumcision is a mild word. Circumcision is euphemism.
It's a big issue
They call
here.
it female genital mutilation.
Exactly. I don't want to use that
Female
word.
genital mutilation.
I want to use the right word. The simple word so that this is appealing to the ear. You see what I'm saying? Because again, my brother, whether the UK authority, whether the United Nations want to adjust the Geneva Convention to accommodate this, it's up to them. People are running away from hunger. People are dying from hunger. Created artificial hunger. Artificial. We are talking about the potential in the land now. The people are now running away to come and seek asylum. Another level of slavery, whatever it is. Like I said before, in those days they came to take us as slaves. Now we are the ones surrendering ourselves to be slaves. It's sad.
It is.
Slavery never leave Africa. First, they took us as
question now
slaves.
is when they all run away. Hello, Sir Chris. The question now
Yes.
is
Go ahead, go ahead.
when they all run away on these flimsy excuses, who will salvage the country? Because at the end of the day, they will still come back here and meet the same problem they are running away from.
Yes. I said we want to join ancestors
It's
of
not
white
better
people.
to stay here, make your own contribution to make the country great so that we get back to our own.
You see, that side is supposed
No,
to be.
you are the one that calls their reason flimsy.
Well,
To them, self-preservation is the first law of nature. They want to preserve themselves because that you manage to be eking out a living here. Some people are more vulnerable than you are. Some people have also given up hope, are selling their property. I asked of a journalist friend of mine who by my own assessment was doing okay, only for me to be told that he had sold his land. I mean, he had sold his property in the outskirts of Asaba, sold his car, and he had moved to Canada,
Yes.
possibly with his family. And I was wondering, you moved to Canada when you are close to 50 or thereabout. When will you
I
come
know.
back? When
No,
are you
it's not-
returning?
that is, it's
Somebody
going to
said
get the ancestors
perhaps
here.
he had given up hope of himself.
Yes.
But
It's going to get the European ancestors. It's coming to join European
He has given
ancestors.
up hope
Don't
on
worry.
himself. But he doesn't want to stop him to stop his children. So he wants
No.
to salvage the destiny of his children, the prospect of his children. As
Oh
for
my
himself, he
God.
has given up hope. But he needs to take that move. So that
Let
what
me tell
stopped
you
him
one
will
thing.
not stop his children. And so he
Can I
has
say
moved over
this?
to Canada.
I know. Now, let me defend us a little bit. For those people watching us in Nigeria, they are saying, oh, why did they run away? Let me say this. Sending your child to school in Nigeria, to school in the UK, with 20-something million naira, you have actually destroyed the country more than somebody that ran away. Let me repeat. Tinubu that's going outside for treatment with our money
Yeah.
has caused us more damage than people that run outside to go and take
Yeah.
to go and work. We should learn to put our money inside the country. You know, Nigerian politicians, the fools watching me today, I have to cut off a few fools. They all have houses abroad. Tell me what they're doing with it. They're in Nigeria, they have a house here. Their wives and their children are here. Their wives and their children are in America. So we are only talking of those who are not. So we are all political refugees. We are all economic refugees. You have money, you use the money, Nigerian money, you go and buy a house. You carry your wife and your children and to stay there. You are even more damaging to Nigeria than the guy that ran away. He said, no, we are all. In fact, if the government of the UK or the West want to attack, they should start from there. If the West refuse to help us to identify those who are bringing our money to them, we will continue to come and inconvenience them here. We will die, but we will be inconveniencing them. If they want to help us, this headline you see now, if this man call me, if the Prime Minister ask me, I will tell him, sir, if you want to help us, stop Nigerian money coming here. Because the Nigerian money come here, we will come here. If the money stay in Nigeria, we will not inconvenience you. We will tell us to go home and work. We will make our own money and we'll feed. But the little money we have, some people are bringing it here to buy houses here, to send children to school for. Let me say this. If you have a child in UK today, per a year will cost you 40 million. If it is very less, it's 30 million naira. How much will 30 million naira do to a school in Nigeria? How much? Now, we don't have money to farm, or we don't have money to do anything. But one of your child is costing us 30 million. It's not costing you, it's costing us. Because that thing is not affecting only you, it's affecting everybody. So how many of us have our children abroad? Nigerians, I'm talking. How many of us go abroad for treatment? So don't laugh at those who are actually who are so-called who are running from circumcision. the so-called economic refugees, you understand? At the end, we're all refugees. You understand? It doesn't matter whatever background, we're all refugees. You know? No, it's a very serious issue. When I make a movie about it, sometimes I don't want to embarrass us. The stories are there. You understand? The stories are there. When you make them, you are opening a worm. This is the way your people are surviving. Do you really want to expose it? You try to keep quiet. You know, it's a sad story. But that is our destiny as at this time. And you know what I can tell you, my people? Nobody when it's good for they stay abroad. Now take pidgin talk and well. Nobody say in Papa land not good. So now another place can I come better. I would have preferred to be in my village today. If there's security, if there's food, if there's water, if there's some little basic things in life. But we're all running away from the hardship. We're running from the insecurity. We're running from poor health. I'm coming to Nigeria. The first thing I'm thinking of is, what if I'm sick? My medicine they will give me, because if I'm not fit by, I will die. You understand? And maybe this system has given us so much medicine too that if you don't, we're not living on medication. So those are little things, my brothers. Why you blame us? Because what Oga Ben said is a big question to us. If we run, we want to come home. But where are we coming to? If we're coming home and the politician, the person, the local government chairman, the children are here, spending the small money would have used to build the land here. He's buying a house in London that he doesn't need. He's not living in the house. There's no politician today that don't have a house in London. If they don't have it, they have that's Nigerian politician. It's in America. Look at them. Look at all of them. All. Look at their children. Look at their children, whether they go to school in Nigeria. It's a problem. It's a huge problem. And it needs to be addressed. And I'm going to challenge anybody, even if the British authority asks me, that's the first thing I will tell them. If Nigerian government tell me, that's the first thing I say to them. Tinubu, stop your children, let your children study in Nigeria. Then the money, if you're sick, treat yourself in Nigeria. Save this money so that we don't, because do you know how much we are earning, we are throwing away with that? With only that alone. How much we spend only on education and health tourism. Look at how much. Imagine where if we use that money to farm. so that the Bororo don't start constructing only roads. I go talk, oh, my quiet, yeah. Let's read more of the papers, maybe. Because I am
Well,
here. I can.
I still believe that I still believe, I still believe that leaving the country is not the solution to our problem. Because if the politicians continue to, you know, whether I should call it loot or what, I don't know, to mismanage or misappropriate our funds, and we, or some of us who are supposed to be down here in the country, to tell truth to power, are living, then
Can I defend those of us in
and
the West?
the country will continue to go down. So the matter is
Let,
that the end to our problem as a nation is not in.
can I use the Bible to answer this? I want to answer Fred. I know where Fred is going. I want to answer Fred. Fred, look at the story of the children of Israel and Joseph in the Bible. They sold Joseph into slavery. Joseph did it not out of choice. He was sold. Actually, many of us have been sold. Sometimes we think we make the decision, but slavery is slavery. We sold ourselves into slavery. Now, there can be a good turn to it. Now that Nigeria have problem, the children who are slaves might turn out to be a solution at this time. Because this is it. We contribute 25% of Nigerian GDP. The money we send home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. The money we send home is 25% of Nigerian GDP. We don't spend the money here. So in a way, we are like
that's
slaves.
The Joseph example. The Joseph example.
We are the Joseph of our time. So give us some credit. It's not the right thing, but give us some credit. It is not a plan. We were sold into slavery. Now we are contributing to So, and in order for us to survive here, people like Mary have been circumcised.
The unfortunate thing is that what the contribution you are making is not being well managed. That's the problem we have. If the contribution you are making is that's the problem we have.
I agree.
Okay.
And people like
Mary, people like Mary now.
Yes, go on. Or Mary is talking about circumcision. That's what they do here. Let's go, Mary.
Mary, we look at Vanguard, please.
Vanguard, okay.
On the top of before even I'm scared where Vanguard is written, you see Unity colleges boil over illegal levies, admission, racketeering. Unity colleges boil over illegal levies, admission, racketeering. These are the symbols of our unity. And now they are boiling over illegal levies. Illegal levies. And if you talk to the administrators, they will tell you what federal government is supposed to give them does not come regularly. And so they are now involved in illegal levies and admission, racketeering. That is community colleges. Yeah, raising money.
Yeah, have you asked the Nigerian police
in order to see if they can?
Yes.
Whether it is legally or illegally done is another matter.
Cash and Rasnika. Russia will say cash and Rasnika. Nigerian police is raising money. So
they need to stay
afloat.
They need to stay afloat. It's just like our institutions here in the country. Because if you are budget defense, you get to know what the institutions are passing through. They will tell you, government will give you the much they can. Then you know how to carry your burden or every other burden that you have. So if you are proposing a budget of 1 billion naira, they may give you 200 million and ask you, well, it's your business. You know how to run your
generate.
And there's no other way than to introduce some of these levies, whether illegal or legal.
Okay. Or legal.
So the lead story in Vanguard
political says. So forgive us. Whether political, economic refugee is a refugee. Sir, we are all running from death. At the end, we are running from death. Hungry, they keep person. God, they keep person.
The lead story
Go on.
The lead story in Vanguard says killings. Governors say states under siege. So the governors are saying that their states are under siege. Governors as chief security officers are saying that their states are under siege. Claim reserves, forests taking over. And the question is by who?
Mm-hmm.
They say their forests and their reserve have been taken over, that their states are under siege. When a nation is under siege, then we begin to ask ourselves who will save this nation. That also explains why some people are seeking asylum in climes that are not under siege. So that is the lead story in Vanguard. And of course, all the newspapers today have the story on Pope Francis, that he died of stroke and irreversible cardiovascular, that is heart failure. At I think at about 88 or so.
88,
yeah. So that is that on Vanguard. And APC NAS, National Assembly, working to ensure Nigerians in diaspora vote. That's an interesting development.
If they do that, we'll be happy.
So APC and National Assembly are working to ensure that Nigerians in diaspora vote. So at the end of the day, Sir Chris will be able to vote.
It's not going to favor them.
Not just and his family.
And he will vote. Whether his vote counts or not.
It does not make any difference.
You know, but
You won't be able to monitor your vote.
We vote here and stand there to monitor, and at the end of the day, they give us a figure that doesn't represent what we voted. And now you will vote in the diaspora. And
imagine, maybe the diaspora vote will be up for
I think this is a healthy development.
It's a healthy one.
It's inclusive in the sense that if you are contributing to the GDP of Nigeria, you should also
we should be allowed to vote.
Be able to contribute to how does the next leader emerge. So this should not stop at talking. Let's work it out, because you don't need to travel down to vote. It means digital. It means digital. You should be able.
We have the embassy. We can vote at the Nigerian embassy.
Thank you so very much.
We vote at the Nigerian embassy. And you know the problem. Let me tell this.
Yes.
Those of them in the National Assembly. You know, let me give one instance. When the white people took our people like them, Nnamdi Azikiwe and Awolowo, they took them for training. They never knew that those people would be the people to come back to fight for independence. You understand? They trained them to serve them, to serve their architecture. You understand? They were not for them. But when these guys came back, their eyes were open. I want to tell them, if you allow Nigerians abroad to vote, our vote will count, because the vote will be recorded here. We will announce it before it will get to you. You don't think you can do that thing you're doing in Nigeria? We will announce our result here. You won't do it there. Our result will be announced here. You get result will come in block. We will not allow you to count for
subtraction and addition.
I know they can do that one. So, but
your vote there will be announced, but the collation will be done here. The collation will be done in Nigeria, and the ultimate announcement. The Guardian is also very rich and interesting this morning. The lead story in Guardian says manufacturers groan as alternative energy gulps 1.1 trillion in 1 year. Manufacturers groan as alternative energy gulps 1.1 trillion in 1 year. This is talking about the failure of the national grid. For you to stay afloat as a manufacturer, then of course you need alternative energy. And in 1 year, this is gulping 1.1 trillion.
But if you compare it to what the bill they would have paid over the same period, I think that don't you think the bills could have been higher or what? I don't know.
Okay,
because you find a company like maybe any business this year paying like for example NTA, they said they were paying 1 million naira before, but now they pay 4 million a month.
4 million. So if you compare what you pay, on using the national grid and what you pay to have an alternative power, I don't know. That comparison has to be made so that you know whether you are paying more or paying less.
Now tomorrow, I want us to look at alternative power. Let's address it as a layman, maybe. Let everybody go into some research. All right, let's address the issue of this power as a layman, and we're going to tap on what we have, our
Okay, just look at
resources. Let's use our natural resources. Yeah, go on. I know you guys who have been signed out. I'm sure we use our natural resources as a case study. If
NTA, look at Daily Trust now. They say Kanu.
Okay.
Kanu.
Casina. Yeah. Maybe can you
our power supply daily 2 hours?
Can you imagine? Asaba, I know you in our office there. They only have light at night. On some nights, so some nights, maybe. How? It doesn't make sense. What we are going through is but should we not? Can we use? My question is, can we all go solar? What will it take for have a solar revolution in Nigeria? Because the sun is there for us. Maybe we have abundant sun. It's too much for us people. So why don't we use that to power our home?
It's another money to purchase it. So for you to get
but this is where the government, if government pumping a lot of money, government will be making a lot of money, and it will be cheaper. Oh, Mary, look at it. Government have the way of doing things. If government now pumping a lot of money to bring this panel in and they selling, government will sell at a cheaper rate to people, and people will have it, and government will make it profit. If I do it, Mary, it will be too expensive for Nigerians. Do you understand? But government can import it that we don't even need to import this. These are things that should be made at the universities. Creating jobs. We're not saying it should be the only one, so that when there's no more major light, we use it. It's too important that we are not supposed to be in darkness, Nigeria. We should not be in darkness, and we must not be in darkness. Let's end the show there today, Mary. It's almost 2 hours now. I think we should end it here. Thank you very much, young lady. I painted in dark light this morning. Sorry that I painted dark light. But every woman for us is a hurricane. Either it's a mild hurricane or it's a stubborn hurricane. The hurricane, all the hurricane you see in America, they give their name. Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane this, Hurricane Victoria. Have you not heard them? They're always women. I don't know what they did to the women. So the women are coming back in anger and ravaging communities. Anyway, that's where we end the show today, my people. As usual, the country is what it is. Maybe the topic for today is a very important one. And for me, it's a very one that touched me. I've been saying it again and again, but I really, really, really still want to ask, will it be so bad if our governors start to do some of the things I talked about? I'm happy the last time I cried that all the governors should have an airline, because today we can't even move. Now, Enugu have air now. I'm waiting to see Delta launching their airline. It costs Delta State nothing to launch an airline. Nothing. I only buy 3 aircraft and we started. And the aircraft begin to create jobs and they begin to buy. It's not charity. They should be making money, but not like private people. Maybe. Do you understand? That will be bringing money to the state and employing people. It will employ people. My people, if we do this, you'll be surprised that the problem we are crying is out. It's no problem. We don't have transport. We're going to do it. We're going to do it in a government way. I don't want to do it alone. If I am the governor, I will buy 10 aircraft, ask people to invest in it, set up a board, and the people that invested will be monitoring it. So they don't think it's government money. You that is the GM there or the DG there, you will make sure you account to us, the shareholders. Government is one of the shareholders. But there are other people that put in their money. The more money will begin to come, more aircraft will begin to come, we will dominate the world. That's why I end the show today, my people. My name is Daddy Chris, and this is Rise and Shine from the African Renaissance Television. We are here to inform you, to beg government to make decisions. Like they said, we pray a day will come when people like us in the diaspora will be able to vote. But I shouldn't be in the diaspora for too long. I should be at home now because I don't want to join the ancestors in Europe. I want to join my ancestors at home. That is my prayer anyway. Some of us are unable to achieve that. So, but if you are 50 years old and you're thinking of coming to join ancestors here, now here you go join them. They don't carry you go home. Because they don't they're not saying again. No. Let me end the show. See you tomorrow. God bless you. Bye for now.
Nigeria Week London 2025. It's time to celebrate the pulse of Africa's most exciting nation. Nigeria Week London 2025 is coming to Hippodrome Theatre from July 24th to 26, 2025, showcasing the best in Nigerian arts, music, fashion, and investment opportunities. Whether you're looking to discover the future of real estate, explore Nigeria's culinary masterpieces, or get immersed in an electric Afrobeat performance, this is the event of the year. You can also join us for a film festival, cultural dance spectacles, and the recognition awards. Don't miss out on the business opportunities and cultural experiences waiting for you. Book your tickets now before they're gone on eventbrite.co.uk. Call or text +447 438 893 190 or 080 330 46768 or +447 459 071 747. Visit our website superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week London 2025. Nigeria Week London 2025, celebrating the best of Nigeria, is partnered with
SRTV. Innovative content, global audience.